Hey guys, welcome to Pepcoding. In today's lecture, we are going to solve this problem: longest substring with non-repeating characters. Okay, the question is very clear from the statement itself. So let's try to read this question. You are given a string. You have to find the length of the longest substring of the given string that contains all non-repeating character. Okay, so let's discuss this problem. That's what's going on. Okay, so this question will be same as the previous question. What we will be doing in this question, we'll be just doing what we'll be adding the characters in the map. This is my map. Okay, we'll be adding the characters in the map, and we'll be releasing it. Okay, see what we are going to do. We want what? We want the longest substring which contains non-repeating characters. Okay, what does that mean? I want any substring. Let's say this is a substring CBCDBA. We have to return longest, the length of the longest substring. Let's say this is the longest length, this is the longest substring. Okay, without any repetition of characters. But you can see in this string that the characters are repeated here. See, B, B and C is also repeated. Okay, so we have to return the length of that string, which is in which the characters are non-repeated. Okay, so let's see that how we are going to do these questions. Okay, so initially what we are going to do, we are just going to acquire the characters here. Okay, so now I am at A. I am going to increment I first, and after that I am going to increment J. Okay, so I am going to acquire this character. Okay, so here A will be equals to 1. That means the length of the substring is right now 1. Okay, so initially my length was A. Okay, so I'll be storing my length of my substring, the maximum length of the substring, in some integer variable. Okay, and I am going to update it if I am getting the if I'm getting the bigger substring than this. Okay, so after this I am going to acquire B. Okay, so now my B equals to 1. Okay, now the length of the substring is what? Now my I is at here and my J is at here. J will be at starting, J is at -1. Okay, and my right now my I is at what? 0, 1. Okay, 1. So 1, the length will be what? Length will be I minus J, which is equals to 1 minus of -1, which is equals to 2. Okay, so right now my length is 2, so I am going to update it. Now my substring is what? My substring is this AB. Fine, my substring is AB and the length is 2. It has been updated already. Okay, we are just going to update the length of my substring. Okay, so now I'm at B and I am going to update it. Okay, now after this, when I am going to acquire, I'll be checking if my character's length is equals to 2. Then I am going to break the loop and I am going to enter this release loop. Okay, so see now what I'm going to do. Now my J will be here, and after this I'm not going to update this if I'm getting this. Okay, yeah, so now I am at this, so I'm going to release my A. See, now I'm going to release my A. Now my A is what? A is 0. Fine, okay, but now but my substring is till my substring is invalid. Okay, so I'm going to release the characters till I'm getting a valid substring. Okay, so now I'm at here and I'm going to do what? I'm going to update it. So I'm now going to update my B, and now it's 1. Okay, so now I can do what? I can have my substring. Okay, now I am valid. Now my substring is valid right now, but now the length is what? Length is just this. See, just this. Okay, so I'm just not going to update because my previous length was 2. Okay, so after this I'm going to do what? I'm going to acquire it. Okay, now my A will be equals to 1. See, now it's 1. My substring is valid. See, now I'm getting this one, so I'm not going to update because previous length was 2 itself. Okay, now I'll be getting C. Now C is 1. Okay, so now C is 1, so I'm getting a bigger substring. C like this. Now my I will be here and my J will be here. I'll be at what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. My I is 4 and my J is what? 0, 1. Okay, so my length is what? 4 minus 1, that is I minus J, and which is equals to 3. You can see from here that I am getting the length 3. Okay, so if my current length is greater than the previous length, then I am going to do what? I am going to update my length, and my string right now is what? BAC, which is of length 3. I am just going to store this length. I am not going to store this string. I am just going to store this length, and at last I am going to return this length. Okay, so after this Now we are at valid point. Okay, my substring is valid till now. Okay, so I'm just going to acquire more. Okay, so now my b equals to 2. Okay, now I'm going to release this. Okay, now I'll be here, so I'm going to release my b. See, now I'm going to release my, this is what we have to do in this whole question. Okay, so now again I am at valid string. Okay, acb, you can see it's of length 3, but previous length was 3, so it's fine. So now I'm going to acquire more. So now c is equals to 2. Now I'm at invalid point, so I'm going to do what, I'm going to release my characters. Okay, now my a will be what, it'll be 0. Okay, that's fine. Now I am at c, so I'm going to do what, I'm going to, yeah, now my c is 1, previously it was 2. Okay, so its length is 2, so I'm not going to update, I'm going to acquire more. So now my d is 1. Okay, now, and previously when my d was 1, I get the length 3. Okay, but I'm not going to update because previous length was also 3. There's no change. Okay, if I'm going to update, it's no big deal. Fine. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I get b here. Okay, now b will be equal to 2, but I am at now I am at invalid point. Okay, so now I'll be releasing this. Okay, now I'm at b again, my j is at b, so I'm going to remove this b. Now I'm at 1. Okay, so now I'm at valid point. See, all are having 1, but a is not there, a was 0. Okay, yeah, so now I'm going to do what, I'm going to acquire more. So now I'm getting a here. So now my a equals to 1. Okay, so till now my j is here and my I is here. When I'm going to subtract this, I'm going to get the length, but now the length is 4. So I'm going to update it because previous length was 3, but now current length is more than previous, so I'm going to update it. Now its length is 4. So now I have updated my length. Fine. So now I'm going to do the same thing again and again. Okay, after this I'm going to, now I'm at valid point because all the characters are having one sum. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to acquire more. So now I'm at d, so now d will be equal to 2. Now again I'm going to release. Okay, now c will be equal to 0. So yeah, c is equal to 0 and d, when I'm going to remove d, so I'll be getting here 1, so I can acquire more. So now I'm at b, so I'm going to do what, increase this b. Fine. So now I'm at again invalid word, so I'm going to do the same thing again. Okay, so this is how we have to do, and we are going to store this. Okay, store the length, and we at last we are going to do what, we are just going to return this length. Fine. Okay, so now let's try to code this out, so then you will be getting a better picture of this question. Okay, so let's code this now. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so initially what we are going to do, we are going to create a hash map. Fine. So our hash map is what, hash map of what, we're going to create it of characters key and values what, integer. Fine. Yep, so I'm going to name it as map, new hash map. Yeah, so after this, initially I'm going to take a length which is starting from 0, and I'm going to update it if I'm getting a longer substring inside it. Okay, yeah, and plus one more thing, we are going to initialize two pointers that are j and I, and starting with -1 and -1. Okay, so yeah, so my first thing to do is what, I'm going to run a loop. Okay, and after this I'm going to break it when I want. Okay, yeah, so yeah, see now what I'm going to do here. The very first thing what we are going to do, we are going to acquire the characters. Fine. Yeah, so here will be one while loop, which is I less than what, str string dot length -1. Fine. Yeah, so I'm going to do what here. First of all, I'm going to increment my I. Okay, after incrementing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the values in the map. Okay, so map dot put what. Okay, so firstly I'm going to have the access of the character. I'm going to access this character and I'm going to store it in ch. Okay, so str.get I. Okay, I'm going to put in it in ch. Okay, and if there is a, if character is not present, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this map.get or default. What this function do, you all know, we have discussed this in previous question also. Okay, so if we are getting some character, okay, yeah, or if we are not getting it, so we are going to put it as 0 and I'm going to increment it. Okay, yeah, so this is also done. Fine. Plus one more thing I'm going to do. What if my character, it means if I am getting 2 somewhere, I'm just going to do what, I'm going to break this loop. Fine. Yeah, so the next thing will be what, the next thing will be, I'm going to iterate my j pointer. Let's say we get 1 here. Okay, so sorry, we get 2 here. So what we are going to do, we are going to release our characters from the hash map. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to do what, this is release, and after this, so first thing what I'm going to do here is I'm going to increment my j, and after this I'm going to have access of my character, that is str dot get j. Fine. Yeah, so after this I'm going to do what, I'm going to decrease it, that means I'm going to release it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is ch map dot put ch, so map dot get j minus 1. Okay, yeah, and then and one more thing, if my map dot get j equals to 1, then I'm going to do what, I'm going to break here. Yeah, plus one more thing we have to do, what we are going to do, if if what, yeah, if what now, sorry, it will be else, because if let's say if there was nothing to break. Okay, if my maps character are always that means the values are always 1, is the values are 1. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to update our length also. Okay, so mat dot max of mat dot max of what, length and I minus j. Okay, because here I'll be updating my length. Fine, so here my length is also updated, and here I have done this work. And after this what, one more thing what we are going to do, firstly we are going to return here something. Okay, here we are going to return length, and then one more thing, when I am going to break this, when I am going to break this while loop, I am creating 2 boolean variables. Initially they are started, they are okay, they are false initially. Okay, after this, when I'm if I'm entering in this while loop, I'm going to update my f1 as true, and same to same for what, the second one. Okay, second while loop. Okay, now when I'm going to break it, see, I'm going to break it when my both f1 and f2 are false. Okay, what this actually means, that now there is no condition that we are entering in this while loop. That means maybe I has been iterated or something else. Okay, now though these both loops are not working, so that's why now I have to do what, I just have to break it. Okay, so now let's try to run this and see if our code is working or not. If there are any errors, let's resolve them. Okay, it's showing error in 7th line. Let's see what is it. Yeah, hash map of character integer map new hash map. Yeah, so in this line, and yeah, here it's capital M. Let's see other errors also. 18th line and 29th, same thing. Okay, so 18th line, this is not get, sorry, I'm really sorry, it's caret. Fine, it's caret of ch. Here also it's caret. Okay, yeah, and it's not yeah, it's fine. And here let's run this. Okay, here it will be, where is that 18 lines again, 18th line, I'm sorry. Okay, map dot get, and here is caret. Fine. Yeah, and one more mistake was there. Here we are going to get ch, it's not. Okay, now let's try to run this and see if it's working or not. Yeah, it's working. And let's try to submit this and see. Let's see if all the test cases are getting passed. It's running. Yeah, so all the test cases are passed. So I hope you understood this question. Okay, so if you're having any problem in this question, please watch this video again, and if you like this video, please hit the like button, And please also please share and subscribe our channel. Okay guys, okay, so we'll meet in the next section. Bye bye, take care, see ya.